Everybody, welcome back to the homestead. It is like December 21st.
It's the 21st. It's actually the solstice.
Oh, right. So, winter solstice. Just want to show you what we did in what we call, this is our hothouse. We call our hothouse. To winterize it. So, we did get the new deck put down. James completed this, so that does cut down on a lot of wind coming through the cracks and stuff because we placed them closer. But what we did, since the window is open in the summer for ventilation, in the winter there's a crack, obviously, where the window opens. So we just cut these real thin fairing strips and some plastic, and we covered the whole thing over. We also ran a couple long fairing strips along the center gap where the walls join. But this keeps a lot of the draft out, which is really awesome. So it's like 50 in here right now, 52, something like that. This is where we incubate our chicks when we get them in May.
We don't incubate them, we raise them.
I'm sorry. And even in the summertime, like in May, it's still cool at night. So we have to run a heat lamp on them, which is brutal on the solar. Like, absolutely brutal.
So technically, when we're raising the chicks, there should be like a heat lamp on them all the time. This does help because it does get so warm in here, but I always do like to say that we're raising these hardy Montana chickens because we definitely don't, follow to the letter what they say, because it's, like you said, it's too hard on us.
Right, because during the day, it gets warm in here, but at nighttime, it still drops. So at nighttime outside, the temperature will be probably 8 to 10 degrees colder than what it actually stays in here overnight. The stones absorb it. The house absorbs the heat. This is south facing, so the sun's coming across. But right now in the wintertime, this is what it ends up being, storage. So we got our chicken shavings. We're getting ready to go clean the chickens and bunnies. That's what the masks are for dust. We did load up. We have our straw and hay for the bunnies. So bedding and food, an extra bag of shavings, the extra wood stove in here, the washer, extra generator, because we have a generator in the woodshed, or generator shed. Sorry. We have 3 generators. The whole house propane generator, this backup generator, and then another gas generator in the generator shed. In case there's ever an issue, we can keep our house going. But as you see, it's just storage right now. So...
And that's the original stove that we had in the house.
That's what we cooked on for the first 4 months we were here.
Yeah.
It was pretty brutal. So now we have a smoker next to Katrina there. So I was going to talk about something else. So with the solar and the generator, even on days like today, it's not really sunny. We've had to run the whole house generator already today and get it back up to 82%. I think you got it too?
Yeah.
Which is propane based. So we have our 2 propane tanks that are outside, the buried one and the one above ground.
So for instance, when we went to bed last night, the solar was like 82.
Right.
But different things run throughout the night, right?
Yep.
Like
the refrigerator, the extra 2 freezers,
the heat tape,
the heat tapes for the pipes here and in the kitchen, and all that draws on it. So you can't just depend on your solar battery backup.
When we woke up this morning, that 82 had gone to 65.
Right.
Due to the lack of sun, it dropped to about 60, 62, something right around there.
Right, and as soon as we flush the toilet and or run water, it drains it down far because the well pump kicks on to provide.
It actually doesn't draw down far. It draws it. It takes a draw. It doesn't pull the batteries down far, but it's a big draw, and we weren't really getting anything. We were getting just enough sun to maybe power the house.
Exactly.
So now it's at like 82.8.
Yeah. But so we have the 2 tanks filled in the summertime, August, September usually, because the gate locks then October 15th. And that takes us all the way through the winter and the spring until the following year. We've never even gone below, 50% on either tank.
Well, when you were gone, I guess, last year or whatever, the underground tank was getting pretty low, and that's when...
They weren't drawing correctly.
Well, they just don't draw the same. So Tony came up and helped me out. We actually shut the one tank, the underground tank, off. Right. So that we only pulled from the other one.
Right. Because you shouldn't let them get below 20%. But anyway, we always have plenty of propane. Knock on wood. We've been fine. people ask why we don't use this as a greenhouse right now at this point. We'd have to heat it. And any kind of heater, even a little tiny small milk box heater, we had to run when we first got here because the pipes under here were freezing. We didn't have this insulated. This wasn't up, and it was just kind of in the ground next to the water, and it still froze. That little tiny milk box heater, drew so much energy off the solar. It was ridiculous.
It's crazy. Like even when, like you were talking about a minute ago about the chicken heat lamp.
Yeah.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy.
Significant draw.
And again, I'm gonna drop.
Just don't realize it. But.
No, but I'm gonna drop Tony's name again. And so, the first year we raised the chickens in the generator shed, and man,
God, it was a mess.
so now they're out here. But now Tony set it up so that it runs off of a thermostat. So the light will come on automatically, and we don't waste.
Yeah, and we don't worry about it.
Right.
Like it turns itself off when necessary.
If we wake up in the morning and it's really, really sunny, they don't get the heat lamp and the sun, and we wind up cooking them.
So anyway, like outside right now, I think it's like 40 degrees and like it's 52 in here, but it's still not warm enough to grow plants. We would have to heat this somehow, and we're just choosing not to. So we try to make sure we grow enough stuff, can it, freeze it, put it up, dehydrate it, whatever we have to do, because it just won't work. If we tried to run a wood stove in here, it would be too hot and it would melt things. So one other thing I wanted to talk about are the poly panels. We got these at Home Depot. When we put up our greenhouse, there was an intentional inside and outside, and we had to make sure we put them on correctly. There was no directions with this when we did it.
No, the greenhouse out there, I think it's a Grandioso greenhouse or something.
Yeah.
They had the plastic that was on it, the plastic protection was a different color on each side. And they said,
Make
this color
sure.
goes, right.
Right. So we're having an issue. I'm going to have you point up at the ceiling. So you'll see that these panels are totally fine. And when we look at these panels, you'll see that there's little holes on the outside. They're not coming through on the inside yet. I don't know if it was from the pine tree needles sitting there and baked during the summer, but
it's definitely only on this like 4-foot section.
This one, but there is this one too. This 4-foot section.
So we think we possibly put
Inside out.
Yeah.
Or they're defective. We really don't know, but they're holding up for now. They're not coming through, which is good. There obviously probably is some heat loss from it. And when we do start raising the chickens, I have to make sure I'll keep them in this section here, which I do anyway. These are to hang their water and food off of. Like we set the baby pool up here. Because any water that might come through and drip into the shavings in the pen for the little chicks that gets wet, then they're cold and it just doesn't work. But the point is, we're going to have to replace that section and this section this spring, summer, something like that.
And these damn panels aren't cheap either.
No, they were like $117 a panel, I think. But that was kind of during COVID too, like
right.
So hopefully they're cheaper. And this isn't quite 8 feet. I think we're at like 6 feet here that we built it, because we built it right onto the deck.
Right.
We just utilized it. Anyway, just a bunch of things to point out in here, and how we kind of tried to winterize and keep some of the draft out.
Yeah, this is new this year.
Yeah, last year we didn't do it, and it was cooler in here.
Well, we did. I think we did the plastic, but we didn't do it
not
over.
As nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, cutting the fairing strips really helps. So anyway, that's what we're doing. So today is cleaning animal pen day. So we're getting the shavings for the chickens. I'll come back and I'll get hay for the bunnies, and yeah, that's it. Fun day.
So I do kind of want to point out to everybody that is quite an outfit you've got going on there.
I know.
You are.
I got my bleached pants.
You are.
This is pre-P, so this is from working up at Leffingwell's, the estate that I used to manage way back when I was a police officer. So this is I probably got this when I was 21, and I'm 57. And Patrina's wearing the other one. Funny thing, haha.
I know, but whoo, that is. You are.
I don't care.
You're bringing sexy back over there.
I am.
All right.
All right. Cheers from Homestead, everybody. Take care. Love you. Don't know if we'll make another video before Christmas, so if we don't, Merry Christmas. All right. Cheers.